Alright everyone, welcome to another RFC Reviews. I'm your host Diecast, and today we have Fans Toys Maverick, which is their take on Silverbolt. It's FT30A, I believe. And this guy just came in yesterday from the toyguy08@gmail.com, I believe. I will check that for you and put that in the link in the description below. But he is awesome, and he always takes very good care of me. So if you email him, he will take good care of you too. And if you're a first-time customer and you tell him Diecast sent you, he'll also give you $5 off your first order, which is really nice. Just for size comparison, let's get it out of the way right away because it's the one everyone wants to see. There he is with Motor Master. And you can see they are about the same size. And get modes out of the way. Get out of the way, modes. Big old heavy Motor Master. And then let's go ahead and take a quick look at the box. You get some art on the front here. You get Fans Toys Maverick up on the top. Fans Toys 2019. Maverick on the bottom, Maverick on the side, Maverick on the top, and just written Maverick on the other side. And then you get your product shots and a little bio if you want to read that. And it's probably the same on the card. I actually think the card is missing. There is a card, but there's also instructions, and I recommend that you just take these and you chuck them, because the instructions are pretty bad. At least in my experience with this figure. We'll go over the one thing that I'm not saying it's not in the instructions, but if it is, it's just not very clear. So, and I want to talk about this figure a little bit before we go ahead and take a look at it, start getting it transformed and everything, because I have a couple issues, and they're worth being addressed. Everyone was complaining about the orange on the figure before it came out from photos. I was willing to wait till I got it in hand to make my decision, and yeah, it's way too orange. I'm normally not a stickler on color variants, but this is bad. This is probably an obvious attempt to do orange, and then they're going to come out and do yellow, which I think in a toon version, which I think is absolute garbage and not right. Because it's a beautiful figure. They did an awesome job with it. And then to just give it these orange thighs and arms and these little sections right here is a bad practice for me. I'm gonna stop buying your figures. If you're making a better version after the first version, I'm gonna stop buying your stuff. So knock it off, Fans Toys. Knock it off, or you and I love your toys. I've always been a big Fans Toys supporter, but at some point I'm gonna have to say, you know, I don't like their business practices. I'm not gonna buy from them anymore. And they used to send me test shots, and I really appreciated what they did for the community in that early time. Now they don't do that. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I still buy every one of their figures anyway. I was up at TFCon Toronto, and I even bought the G2 Scoria that they released because I wanted it to go with my G2 Dinobot, and I knew if I didn't get it now, I wasn't going to be able to get it because that mold is kind of, you know, it was put out there, what, 2-3 years ago? The other thing I want to talk about is the way this is just put in the package. My first impression when I picked this up and started moving the legs and moving the knees was this figure is garbage. Now, I was wrong, luckily. The arms were mistransformed, or the shoulders. There's a whole bunch of pieces right underneath his arm. I'll try and show that off right there. That will flip out to his side, that were on his side instead of in the right place in robot mode. So, my first impressions of this figure were pretty bad because the shoulder was down like this. and I couldn't figure out how to move it up because all this stuff in here was in the way, so it wouldn't actually move up. But now that that stuff is in the correct location, I can push that shoulder up and get it to the correct place. And then you can only get the arms out about this far before you actually have to kind of pull that ratchet out to get it the other distance. So not the best, but I'm not complaining. I'm fine with that. But it could have been packaged a little bit better. The knees also, there's a clip to kind of lock in the knees right there. Let me just pull this piece out. Come on. Yeah, it's tight. But that white piece right there that comes out, that kind of locks everything in. That was not engaged in the box, so the legs felt really loose and wobbly, which obviously is not good for a heavy figure like this. And these waist pieces were folded in on the side here. They were not, so it just had this weird front waist thing going on. And then just to do a 360, there's the backpack, which I don't mind at all. It's fine. There's this metal bar which people were showing off, which some people didn't like. I think in some of the photos it was up a little bit higher than it should have been. I think it was like that. But yeah, that doesn't bother me either. So let's go ahead and get a quick look. Get a nice shot of that face, which looks very good. The head, unfortunately, can only look up about that much. There's an extra hinge to get a little bit more, but it's kind of limited just to this piece all around his neck right there. Obviously, I put on the emblem, the Autobot emblem. It did not come on itself, but that's where it looks like it goes from the G1 cartoon. Get this nice red metallic paint. Even this white, it has a nice pearl in it. I don't know how similar it is to the Fans Toys F10X. I do have a version. I've just never opened the box yet. So there is that. The arms can do a full 360. They can go out. You just have to pull it out from that ratchet. They can go out that far. Actually, they can go up all the way, which is pretty good. Then you just have to click that arm back in. You got a rotation at the bottom of the shoulder. You get an elbow rotation. It gets you a little less than 90 degrees. Fine with me. It's not a big deal. It's only got a little bit of a waist swivel, but I think it's enough. I definitely think it's enough. And then you do get the legs, which move out, back, to the side, which is frictioned about that far. And then the legs do tend to fall down. So we're going back to the old scoria days. But there are 2 screws on the back there. I don't know if you can tighten those, which will help out the legs at staying up if that bothers you. You get your upper thigh rotation. You get a nice bend at the knee, gives you 90 degrees. And then you get a nice rocker on the foot. You get forward and a tad up. Not much, but a tad. So, but yeah, really happy with this guy. Not happy with Fans Toys Colors choice. And like I said, I hope they don't come out and do a different color and call it a Toon version and make it a limited edition, and that practice needs to stop. So let's go ahead and take a look at his gun. So there you have his gun. It's just in a very dark gray gunmetal plastic. The handle can move. Can it move? No. No, it looks like it can, but it can't. So you just have your little gun right there, and then you have your alternate screaming head, if you like that, and that's just on, you just pop it off at the mushroom cap, so you push his head forward, heard that pop, and then slide that back, which is not as easy as you would think because this piece moves a little bit. So let's slide that back, and I can't get his head on. Alright, not even going to worry about that head right now. Let's just get his regular head, see if we can get that back on. Did I get it? Did I get it? Yeah. Alright, so I guess I forgot the hands going through the articulation. His hands are on a swivel. They can individual fingers. They are the typical Fans Toys fingers. And then the thumb right here on the ball joint and the hinge at the base knuckle. And that is it for his hands. And I probably should show you how he holds the gun, because you like that. Pegs in, typical Fans Toys. And yeah, I like the way that looks. He holds that gun really, really well. So, as he should. So there you go. And let's go ahead and get him into plane mode. Yay! So first thing I like to do is we'll come here, undo the waist, and we're going to pull the legs down. You want to make sure they're straight. And then the other thing, which this is the one thing I could not find in the instructions at all, is you need to collapse these leg pieces. So I'm just going to press down just like that. And now you can see on this one, it's almost to the top of that white joint right there. And on this one, it's almost to the middle of the joint. So we'll push that one down again. There you go. Get that pushed down. And that was what was really eating me up about this transformation last night when I was trying this thing. So now that we got that done, let's come down to the knees. Try and get these unpegged, because they are tight. Come on. Let's lower this camera down a little bit too. That might help a little bit, so I don't go off frame too much. It's hard. I really need a bigger screen on this camera to kind of... I can't watch both at once. But there you go. That's the one of the pegs I was talking about that was not engaged in the box. So it kind of made it look a little bit off and feel like trash, but that helps a lot. So do the same thing on this side. Oh, it's stuck. Come on. Come on. Let me get my tool. God, now I know why they didn't put them on in the box. They are tight. Come on. I may have to do this off camera. Alright, that took a little bit of work, but I got it. So we'll flip that peg down. And we'll just leave these out for now. And then what you want to do is you want to come down to the legs, our knees, rotate them around, and then what we do, we'll do that on the other side. What? That's not right. That's right. There we go. Why is this not rotated? Oh, this leg turned around on me. That's why. There we go. Figure just wants to mess with me today. Yeah, there we go. So now we'll come around here and we're gonna undo these wings like that, and then we'll pull this tail piece out. You can flip the foot up for now. Get this foot folded up first, and the way you do that, there's a little slide panel right on the front here. You just slide that up, then you can rotate the foot in just like that. Same thing on this side. And you just have to make sure that this panel is out of your way when you're sliding that foot around. That way it clears everything. And then we can slide this out and just bring that around. Push that in, that'll line all that up. And then you also want to make sure on this panel right here that you're going to flip that panel in. We'll leave that to last, just to give us a little bit of additional play. And it's very important when you're going back into robot mode that you don't forget to open up these panels. Otherwise, this side with the wing will not fit in right and you won't be able to close up the leg. So again, we'll just flip this up. Close that in, and then close this up. Got the panel closed. Open that back up. And then these wings, for now, I'm going to leave up just like that. And there you pretty much have the legs all done. Now we're going to come up to this. Let me try and adjust the camera again. There we go. Alright, we're going to come up to this waist. We're going to undo these, kind of flip these up a little bit. That'll give us some room here. Then we're going to work on the arms as well. Get this all unhooked. So you have these panels right here for the shoulder. They can come up. This one was already untabbed. And then you got this bit, pull the arm out, and then this bit flips down, and this piece comes out. And I'll try to move this wing out of the way. You can see where it pegs in right there on the side of the jet. And just unpeg that, flip that out, get that all flipped around, and then put it up on the side. Put it up on the side just like that. And that's actually how it comes in the box. So now you can see how you wouldn't be able to get the shoulder all the way in because that's in the way. So that's how the shoulder was hanging down as opposed to on this side where it is in place. So same thing on the other side. We get this arm pulled out. That piece comes out. Pull this piece out. Rotate it around. And rotate it around and up. And close that up. And then these are kind of loose. It's not a huge complaint, but it would have been nicer if they were a little bit tighter on this thing, because that's kind of annoying. So then we can go ahead and pull the arms out. And again, he's kind of gonna fall to pieces. Do it on this side too. Go. It kind of helps if you lift up a little bit at the top because that's where it tabs in right there. And then you can see these arms are on a slider, so they'll slide out just like that. And we can get these side pieces out. And we'll just open these up for now. Open these up for now. And then next thing you want to do is we're kind of deconstructing him. We're going to pull this all out, and now we can rotate. We can rotate the waist around just like that. And then these pieces are going to come inside here. These outer flaps, which were one of the pieces that were not out to begin with. We're going to fold that in just like that. We can also close this waist piece up. And then we're going to come up to the top here. And we're just going to flip his head in. It's going to fit right inside there. And then we can close this front panel up. And then we'll come up to the top, split the back section, and just collapse this in and get this pegged in just like that up there. Take these front sections and extend them, and then tab all this together, and it tabs very securely. I had a very hard time getting it apart when I was trying to transform it back to robot mode. So you can see I kind of nicked up the plastic a little bit just trying to get it open, just because of how tight it actually is once you get it all pegged together. So now we have most of the front done and most of the back done. We just got to come to this section. I'm going to push this down, and you need to make sure this metal hinge is down so it'll lock in like that. And then you actually want to do this middle piece first. Like that. Have it swing down. Lock that in the back. And that's if you don't collapse those legs. If you don't collapse the legs, you're going to have a gap right there. And you won't be able to figure out why, but that is why. So, and then the other thing you want to do is make sure these wings are on the outside, and then you can rotate these around for now, but I'm not going to peg them in. We're just going to leave them unpegged for now. And then I did miss one step, which I apologize about. These bits are supposed to fold up into the inside, so that's why you want to get these armatures out of the way. And I must say that's another reason why I really love Fans Toys. On pieces that if they were plastic they would break, they make them metal, which is a big plus. And then just got to get these pieces oh man. There we go. Get these pieces up under here. Kind of have to rotate them in first, then out, then get these straight. That's the only way, right in there. That's how they have to sit with that up. So I'll try and do it from this angle. Rotate this up so that bottom piece passes this chrome armature there. And then as you bring it in, you kind of got to work that. If you leave the head out, it might help a little bit too. Just got to work that piece up into that groove, just like that. And then bring the head down. Now we can reclose all this stuff up, since I forgot. Again, not not easy to do on camera. But that is the life I choose. Come on. And then while I'm fighting with trying to get this hinge the right way so this can close, I want to remind everyone that the Hasbro Unicron HasLab is up. Please support if you can. It would, I would appreciate it. I really want that Unicron. I've been asking for it for a long time. I had a feeling it might be coming. Now that it's here, I really want to make sure it gets funded. So if you guys can help me out and fund it, if you want it. If you don't want it, I can understand that. I mean, you know, it may not appeal to everyone. So we'll close those pieces up and get these wings all tabbed together. There we go. And this tab here goes right above there. You kind of just gotta get the plastic out of the way for that to happen. Rotate this around. Get this up. Tab that in. Tab it in. Tab it in. It's a heavy figure, so to be holding this on camera is a little bit challenging. And also my camera battery is going to die because, you know, that's what happens when you're trying to shoot a video. So I'm going to put this down and change the battery, and we'll come up and finish these arms. Alright, I'm back. So while I was on break changing the battery, because apparently that battery must be going bad because it was full battery when I started recording, I checked my phone and it is thetoyguy08@gmail.com. So if you contact him and you order off him, his first order, he'll give you $5 off. If you are a new customer, you just have to tell him that I sent you. And the knee pads just go up like that. And then we're going to come and work our arm magic. And what you want to do with these arms is you want to work these around here. You're going to flip these arm pieces up. They're going to be so it's out like that. And you're going to collapse that arm up just like so. Oh wait, I forgot. These arms will rotate this way. And then you collapse it up. And then this piece came open, which is par for the course. So that's supposed to sit like that. And like I said, these pieces drive me nuts. And this piece just comes in and folds up right back there. Stay. And then you just need to take the hands or the fists, open that up, rotate this around, open this panel, which is tabbed in right underneath the bottom of his hand. We're going to flip that hand in and make sure that closes up. You want the palm facing out like that. There you go. We can close that up. And now we just collapse the arm. Just like so. And then we want to rotate this around. That way the landing gear is up top. And then this armature, just want to come in and press that all the way in, and it'll slot in right there in between the top of the waist hinge and the joint for the knee or the upper thigh. And then these will tab in right on the side, and also these two spots right there. So let's go ahead and try and get that all tabbed in. And getting these final tabs to tab in can be a little bit of a bear. And you can see I just popped off the thruster. That's alright, I'll just pop back in. There we go. And this arm, of course, likes to give me a hard time. And there's also a tab on that chest piece right there, which should slide in to that piece right there. Now this is the one piece, and once I get this cleaned up, we'll take another look at it, but that's the one piece I was having a hard time with getting tabbed in. Now again, we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Get that all tabbed in, closed up, extend that, and then get these hands to open up. Flip these around, put that in. Then flip that hand around so it's facing the back side. And then again, we'll try and get this rotated around and all tabbed in. Come on. All right, so that's basically it. These pieces flip in if you want. That is basically how it's going to look on the underside. I'm going to get them all cleaned up. We'll extend this tail out, and we'll take a quick look. There's just a lot of tabs to make sure that they're all tabbed in on this guy. Alright, so I have them all tabbed in to the best of my ability. He looks pretty good. There is a spot, like I have a hard time getting the arms to stay completely tabbed in right here. Where those chest pieces tab in, they do tend to pop out on their own. He does have landing gear. The landing gear is right here, so that can rotate. You can leave it down or you can rotate it up. Same thing on the front, goes right in here. I really like this extra bit they did right there. That looks really cool. But yeah, there he is in his plane mode, and it is huge. It's very nice. The tip can go down like the real plane if you want that. Just for size comparison, here he is with the 1/24 scale Bumblebee car, so you can see he is pretty long. Let's see if there's anything else around here that I can do a quick size comparison with. Here he is with Masterpiece Hot Rod, if you're going for that Masterpiece look. And again, it looks really good. It feels really good. I wish this would have tabbed in a little bit better. Maybe there's something I'm missing that's not in the instructions. I wish these weren't so floppy. Kind of both sides. They just keep flopping around. So that is kind of a pain in the butt. But other than that, like, just a beautiful, beautiful job. I really give it to him. Now, if they would have only did the right colors, it would have been even better. And normally I don't care that much. Like, you know, yellow, orange, it's close. But looking at the animation, that is definitely way too orange. And I'm hoping that was a mistake and not intentional, and they're not going to come out with a tuned version. Because if they are, I don't know what I'm going to do with Vans toys going forward. But I do recommend this. I really like it. And if you want to pick it up, make sure you email thetoyguy08@gmail.com. I don't know if he actually has any of these in stock. He might actually be sold out, but there might be one or two if you want to shoot him an email. But if not, you can get in on the next couple bots. You'll just have to pick this up from somewhere else. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you support Hasbro's HasLab Unicron if you're looking for an awesome, you know, big Unicron Planet Devourer. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if I didn't say that. And we'll see you next time.